Hello, everyone. Welcome to Donna, Just Being Real, the only way to be. All right, so we're going to get into another Dusty story. Yes, another beautiful woman died by the hands of a Dusty. And this one here is the potential Dusty. See, sometimes these women get caught up with these Dusty men because they think that, there might be some potential with him. He just needs a little love, a little guidance, a little understanding. His childhood was hard. He didn't get that kind of things in life. And, I'm here. I'm going to be one of those supportive women that's going to stand by her man. And I'm going to help him through this because he has potential. No, sorry, it's not like that. This one had a criminal record too. This beautiful woman by the name of Cassandra Jones, she died by the hands of a Dusty. And his name is BJ. BJ what? I think BJ Jones? No, BJ Brown. BJ Brown. Yes. So the name of this title is topic is even the Dusty men ladies you think have potential will kill you too. So it's best just to stay away from them, okay? You can't pray for them. Yes, pray for them. There's nothing wrong with that. God wants us to pray for one another. That's a great thing to do. But let them be. It's so sad how she died. So my co-host this evening is the real Jack Newtown. And Jack Newtown is going to be reading an article about this lady here. And then I'm going to also revisit a past Dusty story that I did that's kind of similar to this Dusty. And I'll explain why. And then also I'm going to show a couple other little Dusty stories too, Dusty lowlives. Yes, today is another live about the Dusty men. These women fall in love with these Dusty men thinking they have potential and stuff. Or they get caught up in the wood. But all right, we're not going to get into that part right now. I'll share my thoughts and opinion. And everybody who's watching, please hit the like and also share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. The people that's watching the replay and the people that's here, feel free to engage anytime. And if you want to come up to the panel, just let me know and I'll put the link in if you want to share your stories and also vote. Okay, let's get into enough talking. All right, so we're going to get into this story right here. And first, Jack is going to read the article. Then after the article, then I'm going to show some news clips, ladies and gentlemen. And who's ever watching the replay, I'm going to put some timestamps to help you to navigate to the different stories, okay? All right, so Jack, you want to share the screen or you just want to read it off? How would you like to do it?
How you want to do it? Flip the coin.
Okay, well, he's not. All right, share.
Okay.
Okay, Jack is going to share the screen, so just enjoy the music while we wait, and I'll greet the people that's in here. Okay, don't need a man, stop telling me I do, and happy Saturday and blessings to you. BG in the house. BG, wasn't that was so funny when you put that white collar, blue collar, no collar. You even had Abby crack it up. I just can't. All right. She says, haha, I'll be there later. Okay. I think she's back here. There goes Jack. And y'all didn't get why she get a background check. Exactly. And the kind of job she had, she could have been able to do that. I just don't understand. I don't understand.
Sometimes that 10 inches overwhelms all the five senses.
Oh, I forgot I was going to pull up something I should have sent to you. But while you're doing this, I'm going to pull up something else of her. Let me do that now. Okay, we're going to get into
go ahead and get started.
Yeah, we're going to get into this beautiful lady here. Ladies and gentlemen, and let me I'm going to pause.
All right, I'll go ahead and start it.
All right, go ahead.
Sheriff murder suspect B.J. Brown, a violent, habitual, repeat offender. St. John Parish, that's in Louisiana, because Louisiana's the only state that has parishes. Sheriff Mike Tree said that Brown's alleged murder of his ex-girlfriend is not surprising. Wow, even the sheriff even said it's not surprising. All right, allegedly murdering his allegedly. I don't know if it's allegedly. I think they knew he did it. His ex-girlfriend and got to do it for the BLM and the other social justice warriors. And the shooting a Tennessee officer while on the run. The crimes linked to B.J. Brown, 32, were shocking but not exactly surprising to St. John's Parish Sheriff Mike Tree. He is a violent, habitual, repeat offender, Tree said. Tree said Brown has been arrested at least 15 times since 2010. Y'all ladies really need to do that background check. Seriously. Court documents show a history of charges of some violent, including pursuits, drugs, assault, robbery, injury of a police dog, and resisting an officer. We've even had cases of domestic violence with him and the lady that he murdered, said Treek. Monday's murder was caught on cell phone video. It shows a man walking up to Cassandra Jones, 48, outside the New Orleans apartment complex, what appears to be an assault rifle. He shoots her multiple times. He should never see the light of day again. I wish we could have done something to prevent that from happening. Maybe he could have been in jail. I don't know, says Treek. Court records show Brown's past charges in St. John's Parish landed him in the parish jail for only 94 days. Some charges were either not pursued or dropped by the victim, Cassandra Jones. The only pending charge involved a high-speed crash on River Road back in October. He crashed into citizens who were injured, 3 adults and a child, where he basically totaled all vehicles and he managed to escape on foot. He turned himself in later, Treek said. Treek worries about a failure in the justice system, especially since Brown was on probation for drug charges at the time of the murder. Last month, Brown was sentenced to 2 years of probation instead of 3 years in jail. 2 days later, Jones filed a restraining order for domestic violence against Brown in Orleans Parish. She was killed a month and a half later. There is now a warrant out for Brown in St. John's Parish. He's also wanted for murder in New Orleans. He's definitely what I would consider a violent criminal history and a person that definitely needs to be off the streets and probably should have been off the streets a long time ago, says Treek. On the run just for 2 days, Brown was caught Wednesday morning in Houston County, Tennessee, near the town of Erin. The handcuffs were from the officer who Brown allegedly shot and injured during a traffic stop. The officer gear probably had a bit of blood on it, but I didn't wash him off because he had this officer's blood on his hands anyway, says Erin Police Chief Mark Moore. Moore said that his 6-man department has never experienced anything like this, and I hate these auto things. Let me do this real quick. Let me mute that. Okay, that's better. All right. Treek says, given the evidence, he should have been expedited in court. If you commit a crime and that is just undeniable and your guilt is obvious, the case should not take years to prosecute, Treek said. I agree with that. Brown is currently in the Houston County Jail in Tennessee, facing the charge of attempted murder of a police officer. Brown could be transferred to face charges in Louisiana.
Have been canceled, and we'll bring you any updates as they happen. And we're watching the skies this 4th of July for showers that we expect
Do you
to
hear
start
that
popping
sound?
up
Is that
before
me or
tonight's
you?
big fireworks display on the river.
Oh,
Despite the rain threat, the French Quarter is getting more and more crowded as folks are heading out to try and enjoy Independence Day. Good afternoon and thanks for watching. I'm Erica Ferrando. Today we're expecting more of the rainy pattern we've been used to over the past week or so. And your local weather expert Peyton Malone joins us with details. Peyton, how's it look today?
Hey, yeah, that's mine because it automatically plays and it's kind of hard to kind of find out which video is which.
Okay, no problem, no problem. You want to show the videos?
Yeah, if it doesn't show 3 other videos at the same time.
There may be 1 or 2 showers towards sunset.
I like the trends I'm seeing. If we can get
if you
more,
don't, I
mean, we can show this one. Hold on.
then
Okay.
the storms
Whatever
will
you can
have
show.
a
Black
Hold on,
woman.
let me do this.
and someone being gunned down. Notice this morning radar pretty active up on the North Shore
our
and
city?
even here on the South Shore. Have had reports
Totally
of a
unacceptable.
waterspout, maybe out
The
towards
apprehension
the Spillway-Kenner area. I've
of
got some
Mr.
pictures I'm
Brown,
gonna
something
upload
that
when
we
get 'em in my
absolutely
newsletter here in about
celebrate.
10
I
minutes or
do.
so, but we're still getting down
A man
there.
accused
Kenner
of
River,
killing his
Harahan,
ex-girlfriend in an execution-style murder is now in custody after a manhunt in Tennessee. Good evening, I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Katie Moore. Investigators say B.J. Brown shot a Tennessee police officer on Monday night.
Yeah, he was on the run after an alleged murder in New Orleans Monday morning. Erica Ferrando joining us now with an update.
32-year-old B.J. Brown is in custody in Tennessee 2 days after allegedly killing his ex-girlfriend, 48-year-old Cassandra Jones.
She's just going to be really missed. My staff is numb.
Jones was shot in a Treme parking lot off Iberville Street around 9:30 Monday morning. Video shows a man with a long gun walk up to Jones and shoot her 2 more times. The mother of 3 was getting ready to go to work that morning as a deputy clerk in Orleans Parish. First City Court Clerk Austin Badon hired Jones about a year ago. He met her when she was seeking emergency rental assistance, but what she really wanted was a job, and he saw her potential.
We sat and we talked, and she had the attributes that I was looking for. She had the computer skills. She had people skills. And I saw somebody who was looking not for a handout. They wanted to work.
Jones' family said in a statement, Cassandra was a vibrant lady who was loved by many people. She had a personality that would definitely light up a room. Our hearts have been ripped apart. She meant the world to us. Her family said she and Brown used to date, and several months ago, Jones sat in Badon's office, letting him know she considered filing a restraining order against Brown.
I could see it in her eyes and hear it in her voice that she was afraid to leave and go home.
After Jones' murder Monday, police say Brown ran off to Tennessee, where he shot a police officer during a traffic stop in a rural town west of Nashville. That officer is expected to survive.
This is the first time we've experienced this within our department. We're a 6-man department.
Aaron Police Chief Mark Moore said Brown ran into the woods after the shooting. A 30-plus hour statewide manhunt led to Brown's arrest early Wednesday morning in Tennessee.
I'm overjoyed.
And I'm not surprised he would open fire on a police officer.
Brown is no stranger to St. John the Baptist Parish Sheriff Mike Trigg. He says since 2010, his deputies have arrested Brown more than 15 times for crimes involving drugs, weapons, and high-speed pursuits.
We've even had cases of domestic violence with him and a young lady that he murdered.
Brown is at the Houston County Jail west of Nashville for attempted murder of a police officer. He also faces a second-degree murder charge in Jones' death. Erica Ferrando, Eyewitness News.
Chicken desserts, they have snowballs, so many delicious things, so no one is going to be leaving.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry that the other stuff was playing. I mean, couldn't really find to mute it.
That's okay. I'm gonna remove that. That was it for that. That was it for that, right?
Yes.
I'll show. I sent you an email if you want to do the Facebook. If you do it, don't let me
No,
know.
the what?
I send you an email with the Facebook.
Oh, the Facebook. Who's Facebook?
Cassandra Jones.
Okay.
If you want to do it, let me know.
Yeah, let me.
I'm gonna show a clip. I'm gonna show a clip while you look it up if you want to do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna show you another news clip. That one was a good one. That Jack had there. All right, so give me a second while I share the screen for the next one. What's this news clip? You see, the whole thing I'm trying to say is, ladies and gentlemen, these dusties and dustettes, I mean, when they have a record and signs that there's something wrong with them, you cannot deal with these people. They are completely dangerous. A beautiful woman. She should have never been with him, and she was scared to death to leave work. Lord have mercy, living your life like that in fear. All right, let me see if I can find.
I got their Facebook.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna show this news clip, then we do the Facebook last, and then I'll get to the other one because I have a couple other dusty stories, ladies and gentlemen. But we're gonna focus on Cassandra Jones, then we're gonna get into 2 more other dusties. All right. I don't have music. This is insane. Okay. I'm gonna play this clip, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get it.
He's just a guy that shouldn't be on the street.
BJ Brown is behind bars, arrested in Tennessee, accused of shooting a cop near Nashville just hours after police here in New Orleans say Brown allegedly gunned down a woman in broad daylight.
It's a crime that left the mayor shaken and law enforcement leaders asking one big question. Why was Brown, with a lengthy rap sheet, still on the street? Cops in Tennessee picked up BJ Brown in the early morning hours Wednesday, bringing an end to a manhunt that lasted almost a day. The NOPD says Brown is the trigger man in a brutal execution-style murder that happened Monday on Iberville Street, shooting and killing Cassandra Jones, who had recently filed to get a restraining order against Brown.
As a Black woman and someone being gunned down in our city, totally unacceptable.
And Brown's arrest history is lengthy. Court records show he's been arrested in New Orleans on burglary-related charges, but in St. John the Baptist Parish,
BJ Brown is no stranger to the officers in St. John Parish.
Sheriff Mike Trigg telling us Brown has 15 prior arrests going back to 2015. Most center on drug possession, distribution, domestic and resistance.
Help me understand, ladies and gentlemen, why was she dating a man with 15
and she works at a sheriff's department office.
It just doesn't add up, right? You work at the sheriff department, you have firsthand. I just don't get it. What is
And I bet you the sheriff probably told her about him.
Might have. There might have been somebody at the job probably did.
You see, this is why, look, I'm gonna keep it real. I can see if the ladies was like 30, 20. Cool. You almost 50 years old. You can't be playing these type of games. You've lived this long and you still playing these games.
And she
especially a guy with a lengthy rap sheet. I mean, come on. I can see if it was a clean-cut guy and you fell for it and you come to find out this guy's a crazy predator. Okay, that's one thing. But this guy has a record longer than my arms. And you still got with this man knowing he's a thug.
Yes, BG. BG just said something. I can't pull it up here. What did BG say? Has kids, and Jack is going to show the pictures we'll be talking about. What kind of example?
You want me to show the pictures now?
Oh, no, let me finish the clips. We're going. I'll end it with the showing the pictures. But okay. You have it, right? Oh, you have to. I'll tell you.
I got the Facebook. I'm just waiting.
All right, I'll finish. Let me finish this clip. What it said. Yeah, and she has kids, and you're going to see the kids. I'm going to show you the pictures. I found her Facebook. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I don't get it, BJ. I really just don't. Hey, Diva, Abby. Hey, Dustbusters. That's right.
Dustbusters.
Oh, gosh. All right, let me resume.
Arrest. In fact, he was just sentenced in May to 2 years for possession of meth. But records show the jail time was suspended and Brown was placed on probation.
Why he's on the street?
That question would have to be asked to someone else. We've arrested him multiple times. I don't know the final status of all of his arrests, but somebody needs to ask that question.
We did reach out to the district attorney in St. John Parish seeking answers. Video of Jones' killing was captured and shared repeatedly on social media sites. We're not showing it at the request of Jones' daughter, who asked us not to.
I'm devastated. I'm heartbroken. I'm angry. I really don't know what to do or how to feel.
But Mayor Cantrell certainly knows how she feels. She's angry, telling us how she learned about the execution-style killing in her own city.
And you know how I got the video? My daughter sent it to me. My 14-year-old daughter sent that to me. So I'm talking with her in regards to social media, always, right? Parents do.
Now, we should point out the DA's spokesperson says that the district attorney in St. John the Baptist Parish is out of town this week. Brown will eventually be extradited back to New Orleans.
Okay, sorry there. That's just that shouldn't have zero standards. Yeah, and she has daughters. What are the examples you setting? And she probably grew up seeing this kind of stuff when she was a little girl with her family. It's just ridiculous. That should never been together. And just like Jack said, you think the person's a stand up gentleman and he's a good guy, then turns crazy. I've been there. Oh my gosh, I've been there.
I can see that one. That's not anyone's fault if they're in that situation. But when you're in a situation where this guy has a lengthy criminal rap sheet and you still disregard his thuggery and he kills you, you got to kind of put that on yourself.
Yep.
You let the devil into your house, and now you got to deal with the things the devil will do.
Exactly. You dance with the devil, you get burnt by the devil. And no disrespect for the lady who lost her life, because I don't know if her family looking at look at this video, that whatever and stuff. No disrespect, but on this channel, I'm gonna call it as it is. We have to talk the truth, because maybe if we talk about these kind of things and put these red flags and warnings, someone will watch and say, "Hey, I shouldn't get caught up."
Younger women can learn from this, and the older ones.
Yeah, the older ones wake up.
Especially the older ones, because I'm thinking the younger ones supposed to be, supposed to be doing this foolish behavior. You got someone that's 60 still doing this foolish crap.
Yeah, I don't understand. You got women in their 50s acting like this, 40s. Yeah. I don't understand.
And they're leading a negative example for the younger generation of females.
And you got daughters too? What kind of examples you're setting?
Terrible example.
I just don't get it.
Mr. Thuggin' Love.
For what?
This rat bastard. And see, this is why, Donna, I don't get with any woman that loves rappers.
Ooh.
You love rappers, no. I'm out. I'm out.
Got a point.
Because if they love rappers, they love guys like him.
Look at him. Piece of crap.
Because the street guys trying to be the rappers now, instead of the rappers trying to be the street guy.
Okay, Jack, if you like, you can share the Facebook. Let's show some pictures of her and the family. What a shame. I'll play some music while we I think it'll only take a second. Oh.
Okay. There it is.
All right. Okay. Jack is sharing the Facebook. Look at her. She's absolute doll. You're a doll. And I could tell by the guy that gave her the job when she was just looking for emergency assistant. He was smitten by her because he saw a beautiful lady that has so much potential, has so much going for you. You heard what he said, right? That's the kind of dude you want to date. He was a good guy, a class guy. Why would you want to be with this?
No, she don't want a square. She want a thug, and she got one. She might look good. She might look good, but that mind was jacked up.
That's what I understand. The guy was so charmed by her. This guy was not a dusty. He was looking at her. He saw
and he was helping her out. But then this thug was bringing her down.
Oh man, I'm getting angry. It's not like you couldn't even get better. She could get better. That proved it right there. Look at the guy.
Yeah.
Look at him.
She wasted her look. She wasted her looks on the thug, and now she's in the grave, unfortunately.
And these girls don't have have a mother and everything. It's just ridiculous. We're just showing pictures. You keep showing the pictures. Look at her. God. Oh. This shouldn't have happened.
Nope, it shouldn't have. Okay, I don't know about those, man. We're gonna look past that, bypass that.
What was wrong with the picture?
It was 2 girls on there. I don't know if they're teenagers, underage, or not. So I'm not gonna.
Okay. But I want you to show the daughters. Oh, I guess not. I don't know. Your call. What you think? I want to show the daughters. I think she had 3 daughters. It's just ridiculous.
There's one with 3 dogs. I was just, they kind of hugged up like that.
Okay. It's all right to show the daughters if they not, unless they under 18, right? No, I don't know. What about the one with the picture with her in the car with the daughters? Can you show that one?
Well, yeah, we get into it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Beautiful. Another one died by the hands of a Dusty. Look at you. You classy. You know how to dress. You have to look. Your hair on point. Your makeup on point. Your dressing on point. Beautiful children. Everything. And even had a good-looking guy right there was just looking at you. I know there's so many men that's out here, but nah, you want to be with this one here. Oh gosh, that's so beautiful. Look at that purple. Oh my God, oh my gosh, beautiful. God bless, beautiful. Oh, look at him, clean cut, good guy. Oh man, I think that this is one of the daughters. I think, or I don't know exactly who it is. Because there's no name on there, but this is a beautiful young couple. Oh. You got the legs. Y'all men go crazy for some legs. That probably what got her the job, those legs. But you wasted it with this Dusty. You wouldn't be touching my legs. Oh, BG said the woman for us would have dated him. Yeah, let them be together. That would have been perfect. You're right. They would have been a perfect couple, BG. Perfect. Let them go together. I don't know in this picture if that was him over there kissing her or hugging her like that. I don't know if that was a Dusty right there because I can't really see a picture, but there was a picture. I think it was them two together. What a shame. The reason why we're going through this picture is because I want people to see such a beautiful woman. And then you see how that picture right there, I think that's him, right?
No, that's not him because the brother has a thick neck. He has a thinner neck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He doesn't have more of a masculine face like the other guy does.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure. Yeah, the reason I'm showing the picture because I want you to see how such a beautiful woman dealing with a Dusty. And when you hear the officer, the guy was talking about when he gave her the job, shows you she can attract, she can have basically any man she wants. She has that look. All right. But she wasted it on a Dusty. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And you're 48 years old. 48. Oh God, this is just. I feel like tears is about to come in my eyes. I can't. I can't. Look at this beautiful dress. Look at the legs. Look at the legs. Man is full for the legs. But she's gone now by the hands of a Dusty that should have never been on the streets. Now let's get into the law. Why was he on the streets? Why? All right, we can stop with the pictures here.
Okay.
Leave it on one. Leave one picture, a pretty picture. We're gonna have a moment of silence for this one picture. I wanted pretty pictures, and we're gonna have just a moment of silence before I get to the next story.
Okay, well,
let's pick up anyone. Yeah. All right, Legia, we're gonna have a moment of silence. Let me pause this music, and then we're gonna get on to the next story. Prayers to her daughters. Prayers to her daughters. Beautiful woman. Oh gosh. Oh, y'all just don't know. I'm about to get emotional. Woo! This is pissing me off. All right, let's move on to the next story. God. Shouldn't have happened. Shouldn't have. Nope. Nope. All right, we're going to get back to, I'm going to revisit the story. We're going to revisit this one. This story reminds me of Cassandra Jones. And I'm going to play the video. I believe you all remember this, this Dusty right here that shot up in the gym. Remember that story? We're just going to revisit again. Okay? Another older woman with a younger Dusty thinking that he's a potential. Even the Dusty men, ladies, you think have potential will kill you. All right, enjoy the music while I get ready to share the screen. Okay. We're going to get into this story. We're going to revisit this one, the lady who got shot up in the gym because he couldn't accept the breakup. And just before she had got all the protection, he strangled her. Yeah, he tried to kill her. Yeah, I believe she was like about 48 too, and he was 32. Yeah, I believe that. Now, I'm not knocking the age difference, okay? There's nothing wrong with age difference. But when you start to get so much of a big difference and almost could be your child and stuff, now that we got an issue. But let's get into this story.
His ex-girlfriend, while she was exercising at a Pensacola gym, is behind bars where a judge says he will stay. Kidden Farrow is charged with first-degree murder after allegedly killing Carla Williams yesterday. Court records show Farrow has a history of domestic violence. As WKRG News 5's Daniel Smithson reports, the suspect's attorney says he's troubled by the shooting and tells us why he thinks his client did it.
I never thought that something like this was possible.
Attorney David Sellers represents Kenan Farrow, who was accused of opening fire inside Pensacola Fitness Tuesday morning and killing his ex-girlfriend, Carla Williams.
I can only suppose what was in his mind, but I never saw anything that would lead me to believe that he was capable of this. No, that's what's so unnerving about the whole incident.
Sellers says Farrow had a history of domestic violence. He was charged in February after being accused of trying to strangle Williams, an incident that ended their relationship.
He professed his deep love for her. I think perhaps he couldn't accept that in her mind the relationship was over.
Williams was a longtime educator at Pensacola State College after playing basketball there and at Florida State University. Aletha Cassidy, her best friend of 20 years, says she was shocked to hear the news.
Carla was just a very sweet person. She was a giving person, just very smart, beautiful.
Cassidy says she first met Farrow.
Okay, I know people's gonna probably come at me. I'm gonna say it now. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna have to show another video here. There go the tattoos. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Let's go.
While visiting Williams in Pensacola,
he didn't want her to leave him, and he always seemed emotional and possessive.
Williams had a restraining order against Farrow. His lawyer says he had been following its guidelines for the most part.
In my conversation with him, I never got an indication that he was coming unraveled. I told him to sit tight, that I would talk with him again Tuesday evening. That's where things were left.
Farrow remains in the Escambia County Jail without bond. In Pensacola, Daniel Smithson, WKRG News 5.
Okay, I have another video with this one because I want you to really see this slime bucket. I have to find this one here. See? Another one with a criminal record she should have never been with. Beautiful woman, full of degrees, great job, and she dealing with this piece of crap. And then look what happened. All right, what was that one? That was attorney. let's show this clip here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, give me a second here. Oh, such a slow computer. All right, I'm gonna share another screen. Uh-oh. Okay, let's get it.
So once again, we have another.
Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to find the news clip. I mean, news video.
To death at a Pensacola gym earlier this week. WKRG News 5's Daniel Smithson was in the courtroom and has the latest.
39-year-old Kenan Farrow appeared in court virtually for the first time this afternoon after police say he gunned down his ex-girlfriend on Tuesday. Farrow is accused of entering Pensacola Fitness Tuesday morning and opening fire, killing Tuesday morning and opening. Farrow is accused of entering.
Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. Just look at him. Ladies and gentlemen, just look at him. Look at all the ones behind him, all of them. Just look at him. Why was this beautiful woman, well educated, several degrees, with this piece of crap? And he's another one who had a lengthy criminal record too. Help me to understand.
All those degrees, but no sense.
No sense. I had a very close friend that was highly intelligent, but when it came to common sense and dating, it was totally out the window. Totally out the window. Totally. Let me see his comments here. Oh, Teresa. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you over here, Lion's Den. And hugs and kisses to you and blessings. Hope you're still there. I didn't see you. Yeah, just look at him. Look at his arms, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead. Y'all just start sending me comments. Oh, there you go, Donna, with the tattoos. Yeah, I am going there.
Now, hold on, Donald. I'm going to back up on that one. Now, did that victim, the first one, had tattoos too?
No, I'm talking about this kind, Jack. I ain't talking
I
about.
know, but still, tattoos are tattoos.
No, but Jack, never mind. I'm not gonna go there. I thought I understood what you're saying. I'm talking about this kind of stuff, and all around your neck, and they be getting all over your face, like that shooter that shot those people. I'm not talking about the one or two cute little butterflies, a little name or whatever.
She didn't have that.
She wasn't sitting around here looking like this.
I know, but she had tattoos.
Yeah, but all right, let's move on because I don't think Jack understand what I'm trying to say here. Okay, yeah, let me finish playing this video, then I'll get into the comments here. Dang, here we go.
Oh. Pensacola Fitness Tuesday morning and opening fire, killing 48-year-old Carla Williams. Williams was shot several times, according to police, at least once in the head. No one else was injured.
All rise.
At the hearing Thursday, Barrow's attorney, David Sellers, requested a bond on behalf of his client for several reasons, saying Farrow was not a flight risk and his mother needs help managing her home. However, the judge denied bond. Sellers told me this week he believes his client couldn't accept.
He's saying his mother needs help with the house. I bet you your mother probably wants you out of the house. Probably wants you there.
The defendant's doing his job. I mean, he's
Yeah, I
getting
know.
paid.
You can tell he's grasping for straws to get him out because he knows nothing is going to work, but he's trying.
No.
So I'm not faulting the lawyer, but it's just it's sad what they have to grasp for straws. Okay, let me resume.
That his relationship with Williams was over, which led.
Yes, I keep pausing because I'm pausing. Look, they're at the game. I bet you she bought the tickets. Yeah, I bet you she bought the tickets.
Yeah, she bought the tickets and probably put a new set of ink on his arm too.
Yep, probably did everything. She probably gave him the keys to the car so he could drive around in her car. Beautiful woman died by the hands of a dusty. Resume.
To the shooting. Farrow has previously been charged with domestic violence after authorities say he tried to strangle Williams. Williams' family released a statement saying they're proud of how she fought for her own happiness before her death. They say she never allowed the abuse to take her spirit away. She fought for her freedom. He couldn't kill her spirit in life, and there is no way he will ever kill her spirit now. Farrow is due back in court June 17th. In Pensacola, Daniel.
What a shame. Beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. Well educated. So the other one, beautiful, good job, working around good people that can, educate her, let her know, hey, something wrong, red flag. She died by that dusty. This one here, highly educated, went to school, did this, do that, great job, and she brings it down to this one. I don't get it. All right, Abby says I recognize Pretty Black. Yeah, she did some great commentary on that one. I had that video. I've seen that one. I was like, oh my god, because she came up on my feed when I was looking up. Oh Lord, when I was looking at that crime story episode came up on my feed. Yeah, she did some good commentary on that one. All right, what else we have here? Teresa. Dome, hugs and kisses. Listening, sis, just got in from the gym. Oh, did you work out? Dome, I didn't get a chance to go to the gym today. I was lazy. I'll go tomorrow. All right, so let's get into the next one. All right, I'm gonna show another video. And this video I'm gonna show is another Dusty. The low life Dusty. Yep. Woman working in a cell phone store and a low life Dusty attacked her. Yep, I got a few Dusty stories, so y'all just hang in there. Just relax, enjoy. All right, hold a second. Let me put some music on because this is too quiet here while I share the screen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it.
I could feel like the blood run down, like all my clothes were full of blood, and I was just spitting blood, and I just wanted to breathe because I couldn't breathe through my nostril.
I didn't give a warning. If this is the right video that I'm going to show, hopefully it's the right one. It might be, it's going to be very graphic, a lot of violence. So if it's too much for you to watch, I understand if you want to exit and leave, because it might be triggering for some people. So if you want to leave, I completely understand. Okay, I'm going to wait about 2 seconds if you want to exit before I start showing this.
This right here, we have been talking about her for several days. She's the victim of a brutal attack at a Phoenix cell phone store. She is now speaking out after police arrested a man whose family said he has mental health issues and was off his medicine. This happened on Saturday afternoon near 43rd Avenue and Bethany Home Road.
Yeah, Kim Powell talked with her today. Here's her story. The victim says Michael Cook was scoping out the Cricket Wireless before the attack, and then she says she did everything she could to stop him before running next door for help.
He was just waiting for me to be alone.
Maria Coronado was working at Cricket all day on Saturday and said 33-year-old Michael Cook was periodically opening the door and then leaving if she was with a customer.
It was weird, but I just saw him like too often that I didn't think he would do something like that.
She says Cook has been in the store several other times and there were no issues. But that Saturday afternoon, he came in with a plan. Maria was knocked to the ground, shielding her head as much as she could.
I just didn't want to like hit him or do anything like that, because if I hit him and he gets a hold of me again, he's not going to stop this time. And this time he will probably kill me or knock me out.
At one point, Cook is seen on surveillance footage stomping on Maria's head.
I get these flashbacks of me just getting hit over and over again, and I could still smell like the carpet where I was at. I still smell that. It's just, I just relive it every day.
Eventually, Cook stopped and went to the back of the store. Maria knew that it was her chance to run and get help. For 3 days, she anxiously awaited for police to arrest him. And after
3 days.
3 days.
You know what I'm gonna tell you? I'm gonna tell you. I bet you, if it was Gabby Patino, he would have been arrested in 3 minutes. But see, this is Caballera. This is Latina. Well, we'll wait a few days. We'll get to you. We'll get back with you.
That should never happen.
First thing they're gonna try to check to see if you're legally
Catherine.
in the country.
Yeah, and another thing too is there was more about this story. I couldn't find the other clip, but we just looked at this clip with this piece of crap right here, right? What happened was I think she has been robbed at this Cricket store. I believe, don't quote me on it because I might be wrong about the story because I can't find it. But I think that she's been robbed there, or the store has been robbed or something. They should have had more security for her. She should not, first of all, I understand it's so hard to find jobs, but you got to leave out of these kind of places when you got these kind of derelict, low-life dusties coming in your place. You have to just try to get out and find another job. She should have been there alone.
I think they should just close on that area completely. See, that then people, the community get mad if they shut down that store because of the consistent robberies. I mean, you're losing business when you're getting robbed.
Yeah.
People don't gotta, people look things on the outside when it comes to business. If my business getting robbed 8 to 10 times and I did all I could to get security, et cetera, and I'm losing more money, I'm gonna shut that business down and move somewhere else where I'm not going to get robbed as much. I mean, it's common sense business, but I know some people feels like, oh no, you need to stay here. Well, if you control the people in that community not to do that, then maybe yes. But, and it's been, and you was right. I think it was hit up several times, and I think he was one of those other guys that kept on.
Yeah, the place was
because he came back. He was casing the place.
No. It was another story. They said, well, that day she said he was casing, I guess, to attack her or whatever it was. But they say that there was other, the store has been robbed, like other incidents besides this one. So
yes, that's what I was saying. Yeah, he just one of the other ones who was involved in that.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. Okay. All right, let me resume with the story. Catherine says, I wonder if he would have done that if the man was working there. No, he wouldn't have. And that's another thing I'm trying to understand. Why was she in that place by herself? You're not supposed to be working in place. Where's the security? Where's the supervisor? Somebody. That's why he felt comfortable. He was casing in place. He went back and forth. He seen that she was working in here alone. Ladies, you have to be careful when you're working in certain places in office buildings that things can happen. Oh, Lisa, my dear, is here. She gave me a great story I was supposed to show today of a situation like that. I don't have no clip on that one. Lisa gave me some commentary. Lisa, my dear, thank you for sending that to me. Something that happened in Ohio. A young girl. Oh gosh, I just was like in tears. Young girl working in an office building. She's inside by herself at lunchtime. People went out for lunch. She's by herself. It's a low life Dusty come in there, and he raped her. Young girl, I think early 20s. She's done. She's done for the rest of her life mentally. Sugar Daddy One Williams, and oh, welcome, and yeah, I don't know who you are there. Alrighty, okay, yeah, it's just a shame. All right, let me resume here. Exactly, Dome. Sick.
After seeing the surveillance video, police say Cook's mother turned him in.
I had met his mom before, and she was really sweet to me. So in my heart, I was like, I really thought it was her, even when I didn't know who turned him in.
Maria said this is the 4th time she's been a victim of a robbery while working at this cell phone
The
store.
fourth
And now
time.
she's looking at.
Yeah, she needs to find work somewhere else.
I had the right video. Yep, 4th time.
This is the 4th time. So that story's been around more than that, even when she wasn't there.
Mm-hmm. It's time to go.
That's why you have these businesses closed down in those areas, and then they move to certain nicer areas because they're losing money. Who wants to get robbed 18 times? I don't.
You're right.
Never mind. I don't think that's really robbery related, but it was an assault in New York, and then in the bodega, and the employee ended up stabbing the guy who jumped the counter.
Oh, the story that you was telling me about.
Yeah.
Something came up on my feed. I think they doing something.
And the thing is that the girl went there to buy a bag of chips and didn't have no money on the EBT card. I don't know how that's the case when on the first of the month your EBT card gets recharged. But whatever. And so the employee took chips away, like, well, you can't pay for it, you can't have them. And so she went and got her boyfriend, and boyfriend came, Mr. Rough and Tough. And then instead of the boyfriend paying for the chips or buying her the chips, as a man, you're supposed to. If your woman can't get it, why don't you get it as a man?
Mm-hmm. Well
He
said.
obviously he couldn't afford it, but he had an expensive shirt and expensive clothes on him, but you couldn't afford to buy a bag of chips. And to the lady on Clubhouse, it was not 50-cent bag of chips because there are no 50-cent bag of chips in the state of New York. I don't see that happening. Inflation, people. But he couldn't afford it. And if it was 50 cents, then he's a total loser. And he jumped the counter because he couldn't have his way. And he started grabbing and the employee, because the employee was behind the counter working. So he jumped and attacked the old man. And the guy's 62 years old. And this other guy's in his early 20s or whatever. And so he got that knife that cut the meat, and he stabbed him. He got him good too. And he died. So they arrested him, even though it was self-defense. But of course, New York runs differently. You're guilty until proven innocent in the state of New York. Even though, because y'all don't have a stand your ground counsel doctrine in that state, which means they have to take you in.
Hit the light, ladies and gentlemen.
Even though you was defending yourself, if you defend yourself with a knife or a gun, they're gonna take you in by default. You're gonna get charged by default. even though you was in the right.
All right, I'm gonna finish this video, and I'm gonna get into another woman dying by the hands of a dusty. Okay, let's get it.
At other career paths after she heals.
The world is crazy. Everybody's getting so violent, so crazy. They're bold. They don't care anymore. They don't care about hurting people.
Cook told police that he traded the phones he stole for drugs. The judge issued him a $100,000 cash bond. As for Maria, she has a GoFundMe page to help her pay for her medical expenses from the attack. We'll have that on our website, azfamily.com.
I hope she finds. I hope she goes to college. How about, I don't know if she went to college or not. I hope she does go to school, college or something, or vocational or
Yes,
whatever training or skill.
mm-hmm.
I think this is right now the best opportunity for her to do that. Plus the GoFundMe money that can help her with her expenses, and get away from that. Because if she stayed there any longer, she's going to die.
Yep. You got to get out of those areas, yeah. But I know. I'm, ladies and gentlemen, don't think like I'm. Oh, you talking all this stuff. Jobs is hard. I know it's hard, but she's a pretty woman. She does not, and a lady. Whatever I'm trying to say is, you don't need to be working in areas like that where it's high crime and people's coming in, and you could tell clearly. You could tell that the bosses don't care about, the safety of their employees. So you don't need to be there. Because if this has happened, other times, the manager or whoever the owner doesn't care. They're only thinking about is the money. So if you're dealing with, you have a boss who doesn't care about their employees, it's time to leave. They don't care. It's just ridiculous. All right, I'm gonna go into another story. What a shame. All right. Enjoy the music while you wait. Is that the one I'm looking for? Oh, wait a minute. I can't find it. Okay, y'all have to wait a second. I thought I just had it up now. Suddenly I can't seem to find it. Okay, sorry, I finally found it. Pardon me, y'all. Okay. Another woman who died by the hands of a dusty. Let's get it.
Horrifying details about a Bradenton mother of two found dead in a ditch last night. Stephanie Schinnefeld had been missing for more than a week. A man is in custody, and as Megan Myers reports, investigators say he handed them the investigation, giving them video from inside and outside of his house.
Friends describe Stephanie as a social butterfly. Her best friend says she was supposed to meet her for a concert in Ybor last week, and she never showed up. After dozens of unanswered phone calls and text messages, they reported her missing.
I could be able to pick her up and take her to work.
Jennifer and Stephanie were friends for 10 years.
She's a social butterfly. Everybody knew her.
Jennifer says while her and her friends were looking for Stephanie, some people told them to look into a man people called Big Will. She says she now knows that man is the accused in this case, William Redden, an alleged drug and convicted felon.
This jerk, this evil.
I call him Big Lowlife. Just look at him.
Yep.
Piece of crap.
Ladies, Big Willie, the big bandits, whatever you want to call them, ain't worth your life.
This jerk,
what's
this
going on
evil
between his
man
legs
that
ain't
got
worth your life.
him.
Deputies say they watched Redden on surveillance video that was taken from inside his own home, dragging Stephanie's body, and last night, someone walking their dog found her body in a nearby ditch.
She didn't deserve to go like this. She didn't deserve to be treated. Nobody deserves to be treated like this.
Jennifer says she wants Redden to be held accountable.
Now look at him. Poor me. Shame. I didn't mean to. I don't know what happened.
He's dumb behind not knowing that his outside camera is showing.
Stupid.
That's how they catch this dumb, stupid behind.
Well said.
Big Will not right in the jail.
You ain't gonna be big in jail no more.
Gonna meet Felice Johnson.
She will get justice. We will be at every court hearing. We will be at every arraignment.
Redden is in the Manatee County Jail right now on a $108,000 bond.
And of course, investigators are still trying to figure out exactly how Stephanie died. But just months before Redden's arrest, I want to show you this video that we found on his Facebook page, his public page. Watch.
Man, an old friend just called me, man, and said the police just called and they said they found his girlfriend's body.
This video was posted back in February. Apparently, Redden is joking in it about disposing of a woman's body.
You hear this, Jack? Look at him. You see the smirk on his face? He think this is funny. Yeah, we'll see how funny it is when you're in jail when these other guys get to you.
Again, this post was months before the disappearance of Stephanie Shinefeld. We have contacted detectives for comment on this, and we'll let you know.
The brand probably already got a green light on him.
What a shame. And he's sitting there gloating about it like it's so cool. All right. I think I read this one. Our work is hard. Okay. Okay. Well, welcome, Sugar Daddy, welcome, and hopefully you enjoy the commentary. And I get to see you again. All right. Don't need a man is always here. Okay. All right. What else it says? William says he treats women like trash, so his cell should be in a garbage trunk. I agree with you on that one. What a shame. Well, I could be here forever showing Dusty stories. I have so many and stuff. And matter of fact, just listen to me. Let me see if I can find this other story that I wanted to find. Enjoy the music while you wait for a second. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just hang in there. Just hang in there. I believe I found it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're going to go back to a past story. And this person did some awesome commentary on it, and it's more of an update.
We would like to send.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to show this person's video. They did a phenomenal job on this story. And this story was this woman that I did commentary on, and this person really broke it down what happened. So we're going to watch this person's video. It's like a little bit, it's like about 20 minutes or so long. If you're interested in watching it, it's an update on Ursula Gallo. You remember the story I did with the white lady in New York City, and she was messing around on her.
Yeah, she was getting 3 other men, and one of them ended up jacking her up 60 times and then putting her in the son's
in a duffel bag. Yeah, so we're gonna watch that one. So if anybody wants to leave now, I can understand. I'm gonna get into this story here. There's another true crime story update, and this guy's channel. The name of this guy, I'm gonna put the link in here in the chat. But the name of the person's channel is Beyond Evil. Oh my god, I love their commentary. It's just like totally phenomenal. All right, so I'm gonna show this clip. So if anybody doesn't want to stay for this, I understand. It's a little bit over 20 minutes, so I completely understand. But thank you everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for hitting the like. Thank you for engaging all that good stuff, and stay tuned for some more. And we're gonna get ready to get into this commentary. All right, the update, more of the story, because she shouldn't have been cheating on her husband. All righty, give me a second to share the screen. Wait a minute.
Forest Hills.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to get into it, and enjoy.
When the residents of a home in the tranquil neighborhood of Forest Hills, Queens, examined their Nest home surveillance footage from the previous evening, they couldn't possibly have guessed that the shadowy images it captured of a man walking through the darkness of their residential street would turn out to become one of the most haunting and disturbing scenes ever caught on video.
It was a horrific scene here in Queens after a woman's body was found inside of a duffel bag earlier today.
Police have just identified the victim, and now investigators are asking anyone with information to call them.
Welcome to Fear Files, where we discuss and dissect the most mysterious, terrifying, and mind-bending cases from all over the world. Before we get started, we would like to send our thoughts and prayers to the loved ones of Ursula Gallo, who fell victim to the abominable acts described in this case. This story takes us to the quiet, upscale neighborhood of Forest Hills, a mostly residential neighborhood in the borough of Queens, New York City. With its tree-lined streets and Tudor-style homes, sweet shops, and old-school Italian pizza parlors, Forest Hills is often thought of as a neighborhood reminiscent of days gone by. Big city problems have bypassed Forest Hills. Crime rates are low, the streets are safe, and parks are in ample supply. But in the spring of 2022, the quiet city oasis was about to be upended in the most horrific way imaginable. On the morning of April 16, 2022, 911 operators received a call about a suspicious-looking bag that lay discarded on a stretch of road in the Kew Gardens neighborhood of Queens. The large black sports bag, the caller said, appeared to be leaking blood across the pavement. Before officers from the NYPD had time to respond, a second call came in, this time about an even grislier discovery. 51-year-old Glenn Van Nordstrand had been returning from walking his dog in the morning around 8 a.m. when he noticed a large Wheeler bag strewn across the grass and adjacent sidewalk near the corner of Metropolitan Avenue and Jackie Robinson Parkway. Glenn had often seen trash and other discarded items along the busy roadside, but there was something about this particular bag that troubled him. As he drew closer, his dogs became agitated. Soon, both were straining at their leads. It wasn't until Glenn was virtually standing over the bag that he saw why. Blood was leaking from the bottom of the bulky Bauer bag and trickling across the concrete sidewalk. Glenn had seen his fair share of crazy things in Forest Park over the years, and plenty of dead animals. Figuring the bag contained the remains of a dead animal, he nudged the side of it with his leg. It was heavy. He leaned down and pulled open the bag's zipper. Later, he told a reporter, "I just saw this pair of bare feet, pale, bare feet, and I thought, oh my gosh." Stunned, Glenn wondered if what he was seeing was part of a mannequin or some kind of crash test dummy. The skin looked hard, not fleshy at all. He unzipped the bag further. Now he could see legs clad in black jeans, a belt, and the lower portion of a female waist. The bag, he soon realized, contained the entire body of a woman who lay headfirst in the bag, curled into the fetal position. At 8:02 a.m., Glenn called 911. The horror of what he had seen hit him like a freight train. "I felt quite choked up," he said. "I honestly thought the body was that of a teenage girl because it seemed so small."
This is the best thing I've ever found on the internet, and it helped me lose 21 pounds.
Emergency services soon surrounded the scene. The NYPD were familiar with this stretch of road. In recent years, several bodies had been dumped at this secluded spot. Like many others, this victim's body had no form of ID and no way of knowing who she was. Only Glenn was about to change that. He crossed over Metropolitan Avenue and noticed another streak of blood. Glenn alerted police. Soon they had uncovered an entire trail of blood that extended a half a mile or 9 blocks, all the way from the location of the blood-soaked duffel bag through the leafy streets of Forest Hills and right to the side door of a $2 million home on Juneau Street. Outside the house at 7224 Juneau Street, a squad of officers from the NYPD prepared to make an emergency entry into the house. Once inside, a quick search revealed blood on the first floor and the basement of the home, and a blood-stained knife. On the third floor, they found 13-year-old Leo Klein. He appeared to have just woken up. When questioned by police, Leo said that he lived at the house with his parents and his 17-year-old brother, Jamie. His father was away in Oregon with his brother, and he didn't know where his mother was. Leo was handcuffed on the spot and led out to a waiting police vehicle.
Excuse the ice cream truck. This was very disturbing how they let this little young boy out in handcuffs. You know this young boy is traumatized. I didn't know all of this. And I believe they questioned him for hours. This was really sad what happened. And I hope he get justice for that because that shouldn't have happened to this young man. I resume.
Then driven to the nearest police precinct. Glenn Van Nordstrand, the dog walker who had stumbled upon the blood-soaked hockey bag, was already at the precinct giving his statement when police brought Leo in. Glenn claimed that Leo was dragged around the station handcuffed. The teen was wearing no shoes. He appeared to still be in his pajamas. After being questioned without the presence of an adult, officers determined that Leo had no knowledge of the crime and released him into the custody of a relative. Police, meanwhile, had confirmed the identity of the body in the bag. It was the body of 51-year-old Orsolia Gall, Leo's mother. Leo had learned of his mother's gruesome homicide while being accused of her murder. A forensic examination of Orsolia's body revealed that her throat had been cut. She had suffered 58 stab wounds to her torso, neck, and arms, and defensive wounds to her palms and fingers.
58 stab wounds. This man was completely out of his mind. What the hell was she doing over here cheating on her husband like this? Resume.
The city's medical examiner would later state that her death was a homicide owing to sharp force injuries of the neck.
Her lives will not be the same neither, because every time I would come out, I would hear her or the dog barking. She was a very happy woman, always smiling, always joking.
And loved life.
Yeah.
She loved life, really. Yeah.
The savage
She loved
nature
life and she loved,
sloppy way in which her body had been dumped, leaving a trail of DNA evidence, were strongly indicative of a crime of passion. The pure ferocity of the attack itself was a classic case of overkill, indicating a level of personal rage unlikely to be found in a stranger. Dr. Michael Bodden, a physician and medical examiner, said of the investigation, "They know it's more than just an acquaintance. It's someone who really hated that person. It could be a husband, sometimes a child." One son had been ruled out. Orsolia's husband and eldest son, meanwhile, had both been out of town at the time of her murder, scouting potential colleges in Oregon for the 17-year-old Jamie. But this didn't absolve them of any involvement.
So her husband's being a good man out there trying to get the oldest son into college, running around, and she's at home and cheating on her husband, running around here with other men. That's just disgusting. That's just totally wrong. Usually mothers go out there with the husbands and, searching for the colleges, or the mothers will go and stuff. She probably like, oh, just going out there. I think it'd be a great thing. The father and son. I'll just stay home with the other son. You ain't stay home because you was out there doing your thing or whatever, and then you got killed downstairs while the son is upstairs sleeping, and then cops coming in, they grab him. He's traumatized for life and question him, handcuffed him like he's a criminal because you want to mess around. Are you flipping kidding me, Blondie? Really? Really? Let's get back to it.
And residents of a home on 75th Avenue, Forest Hills, had just provided police with a horrifying new piece of evidence. A Nest home surveillance camera from a home not far from Orsolia's had caught a shadowy figure rolling a large bag through the dark streets of Forest Hills at about 4:30 a.m. in the morning of April the 16th. Inside that bag, detectives now knew, was in all likelihood the butchered remains of Orsolia Gall. But who was the mysterious person dragging the bag?
Her body was found in a duffel bag not far from her Forest Hills home. CBS 2's Elijah Westbrook has a reaction and more on the investigation.
I got the goosebumps.
For some neighbors, there's just no other way to describe it.
It feels like something out of TV. It's just really, it's rough.
Sadness looms over this Forest Hills neighborhood following the death of 51-year-old Orsolia Gall, a wife and mom of two sons found dead on Metropolitan Avenue near the Jackie Robinson Parkway. Out of all places, a duffel bag, according to police.
It's scary, and I don't understand how somebody can do this.
Police say a man walking his dog spotted the duffel bag on the side of the roadway Saturday morning shortly after 8 o'clock. The scenic and well-groomed street Gall lived on with her family, not far from where she was found dead, is now the location of a crime scene. Police tape still surrounds the entrance to her home, and flowers placed by those she knew sit on a tree out on the sidewalk. The disturbing death leaving some with more questions than answers.
You keep reliving the sequence of events as how does this happen? So it's actually quite strange. The more it goes on, the more it's like the gravity of the situation just keeps making it worse.
And why someone would do this still remains a mystery at this hour. Police continue to look for the person responsible for killing Gall.
Orsolya Gall had lived in Forest Hills with her husband, Howard Klein, and sons Leo and Jamie for nearly a decade. A native of Hungary, Orsolya had met Howard at a Christmas party in Budapest in 1994. The 23-year-old Orsolya had recently finished her studies at a Budapest Business School's College of International Management and Business. 25-year-old Howard was about to begin a master's in finance at Columbia Business School. For several weeks, the two exchanged love letters before holidaying together in Thailand. When Howard returned to New York to begin his studies, he invited Orsolya to join him, and she never left. Howard had gone on to found a successful boutique capital markets advisory firm. Orsolya had worked for several years in Manhattan before putting her career on hold to raise the couple's two sons. On August 2, 2012, the family had moved into their 5-bedroom home in Forest Hills. Friends and family described Orsolya as someone who loved life. She was sociable and extremely friendly, people said. Someone who was always smiling, joking, and ready for a laugh or a chat. She was an avid traveler. Orsolya's Facebook profile overflows with photos from family trips to Paris, China, and Tokyo. But her greatest joy in life came from her sons, her friends said, with whom she was attentive and loving. From the outside, at least, Orsolya appeared to be the perfect picture of a happily married mother. But the outside, as we all know, is never the whole picture. When police confirmed in the press that Orsolya's husband and son were persons of interest, all eyes turned to Orsolya's husband. Howard Klein had been on the other side of the country with their eldest son Jamie at the time of Orsolya's murder, purportedly checking out potential colleges before his upcoming graduation. On the morning of Friday, April 15th, Howard had posted on his Twitter account that they had arrived in Portland at 1:36 a.m. Oregon time on April 16th. Howard posted another, now deleted, tweet saying that they were on their way home to New York. The early flight seemed to be in response to a harrowing message Howard had received from his wife's phone in the early hours of that morning. The message read, "Your wife sent me to jail some years ago when you were living near Austin Street in Forest Hills. I'm back. Don't call the police, or I will kill your family."
I remember reading that stupid little that text. What a shame. He has to see something like this on the trip with his son and everything. She shouldn't have been out there cheating. See? Resume. And I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Just can't do it now. Wait till it's over, and I'll put the link in.
Soon afterwards, Howard would receive a call from police that his wife's butchered body had been found near Forest Park. In the meantime, he would reportedly tell the Post newspaper that there were concerns for his family's safety, and they were at risk.
Huh? Who are you? New York Post. What are you doing? No, seriously, what are you doing? Why are you photographing me? Why are you photographing me?
You're not taking my credentials.
Yeah, I want to see your credentials. I want to take pictures of your
You can
credentials.
see my credentials.
Yeah, no, I want to take pictures of. Okay. Okay.
No,
what are you doing?
no,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You can't touch me.
Why are you invading my
If you
privacy?
touch me, I'm gonna call the police.
Okay.
If you touch me, I'm gonna call the police.
I'd like to know your name.
My name is Robert.
Howard's every move now came under intense scrutiny. Social commentators, including Nancy Grace, piled on with questions over his Twitter posts.
I like
They
this from
stuck
Nancy
out
Grace.
as
She's crazy.
unusual, she said, and smacked of someone trying to prove they had an alibi. As for the message from his wife's phone, it had a John Benet Ramsey vibe, she said, a cliched threat that sounded like something from a bad film. And what kind of murderer would take the time to send a text? Also against him was the fact that there were no signs of forced entry at the house. Orsolya must have known her killer, or that person had used a spare key, commonly known to be hidden in the barbecue on the property. The killer, it seemed, had also been in the house for hours, another factor that pointed towards the killing being someone who knew Orsolya well, or was a member of the family even. And there was something else strange, too. Orsolya had been reported missing by her husband once before after going for a midnight stroll. Howard had called 911 to report his wife missing at around 7:21 a.m. on May the 29th, 2020. But he called back 30 minutes later to say that she had been found. The incident echoed an earlier and equally strange occurrence in 2004, when her son had been reported missing at the age of 10 months, also by Howard.
Discover unforgettable travel experiences at Get Your Guide.
Meanwhile, police were combing through phone records, surveillance videos, and receipts from the places Orsolya had visited that night, trying to piece together her final movements in the hours before her death. Orsolya had told neighbors on Friday, April 15th, that she was heading into Manhattan that evening to see an opera at the Lincoln Center with some friends. An examination of her phone, however, revealed a different story. Orsolya had been communicating with 3 different men on the night of her murder. It was with one of those men that Orsolya had gone to the concert with at Lincoln Center. All 3 were now under investigation. By 11 p.m. that night, Orsolya was back in the Forest Hills area. She had come home on the train alone and then stopped by the Forest Hills Station House bar, where she often went for a drink or food after a night out. She was friendly with the manager, Gabe Varus. Police believe Orsolya arrived home at 12:20 a.m. Her attacker had entered shortly after, sometime before 12:40 a.m. By 4:30 a.m., the killer was wheeling Orsolya's body away in her son's hockey bag. And the killer? A curious note on Orsolya's refrigerator would help point the way. The note simply said, "Find a new handyman." Of the 3 men with whom Orsolya had been communicating on the night she was murdered, one was a man who had been doing odd jobs at the Juneau residence for the past 2 years. That man was 44-year-old David Bonola, a so-called heating and air conditioning repairman. Bonola was a married father of 2 who had illegally entered the United States from Mexico 21 years earlier and, according to his social media, was an aspiring filmmaker and a graduate of the New York School of Intelligence.
My question is, Bonola, David Bonola, what do you thought? She was gonna leave her husband and everything to be with you? You really thought that was gonna happen, huh? What a mess. What a mess. And I know Jack and I have discussed this one before, and I'm sorry. If I was the husband, I wouldn't bury her. I wouldn't. Especially after our son got, pulled out in handcuffs. I would have been done. That's it.
I
Called her
mean,
mother, her sisters, whatever.
you got to do it for the kids.
I understand. Wow, he's a strong man. I couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do it for the kids. Y'all know in situations like that, you want to just kick dirt on them, but I mean, you got to put feelings aside for that moment, for the benefit of the children. And then after that, then you can do what you need to do. You can pour out a 40-ounce bottle of liquor on her grave after that. Shoot, that's gasoline. You could Talking about I'm smoking on this pack. I'm smoking on that white pack. Then you can do that. But right now, you got to hold it in. You got to show restraint for the kids, for the family.
That's a good man.
You can be petty at the funeral.
That's why I said she's married to a good man, and this is what he gets in return, and the children. I resume.
Interior design. By the time of Orsolia Gall's murder, Bonola had become estranged from his wife and children and was living in an apartment in nearby Richmond Hill. Those who frequented the area near his 114th Street home described him as a night owl who played guitar and was often seen riding his bike after dark, stopping at a local 7-Eleven for junk food. It was soon clear to police from the nature of the messages on Orsolia's phone that soon after taking on work at the Juneau Street home, the relationship between Orsolia and Bonola had turned physical. Bonola had been leaving comments on Orsolia's Facebook photos. On a picture of her in Guatemala in April of 2019, Bonola wrote, "Love those streets and architecture, that landscape and the giant volcano, and you," followed by a heart emoji. In July 2019, Bonola wrote, "She is the most beautiful woman." And in May 2020, Tu mirada enamorada, which translates roughly to your look of love. Given her situation, it's hard to imagine that Orsolia would have appreciated Bonola's comments, but this would turn out to be just his opening gambit when it came to Bonola's depravity. Martin Calixto, the owner of a florist shop across the street from Bonola's home, said Bonola used to stop by his store nightly to buy a single red rose. Bonola showed him photos of Orsolia, whom he claimed to be in love with. But Calixto hadn't seen Bonola in the last 12 months. Police meanwhile knew that Orsolia had ended things with Bonola in early April of 2022. Just weeks before her murder. Bonola had been on their radar ever since. Perhaps his history of harassment also helped to alert them to his potential as a stalker turned murderer. 21-year-old Oliwa Pikulinski had worked for 3 years as a barista at the Starbucks in Forest Hills where Bonola was a regular. Bonola, she said, was creepy. He stalked people. Everyone knew he was a weird individual.
What?
And I will say he does look creepy. He looked like it was something wrong with him. And this is what you choose to lay down with to ruin your whole family, your husband, everything. She was a piece of crap. Yeah, I said it. She was a piece of crap. She had it good. She was living in a beautiful home. Good husband, provide for her and the family. And this is what he gets in return. She messing around with the goddamn handyman. And messing around with other men too. Just happy. She was probably happy as a pig in crap that he was gone. Ooh, I'm gonna party. I'm gonna have me a good time while he's gone. Mm-hmm. And you slept with the wrong man. That caused your death. I resume.
Spent long periods of time at the Austin Street Starbucks several times a week, where he would openly watch the baristas while they worked, commenting on their appearances, propositioning them, and leaving love notes in their tips jar. He was even deluded enough to propose marriage to 2 of them. Several employees called the police, and on more than one occasion. But Bonola simply left before the police arrived. But it was his passion for YouTube that would shine the real light into Bonola's deepest thoughts and desires. 2 themes stood out: seduction and violence. Bonola had created his own YouTube channel, but it wasn't for creating content, just collecting it.
Here we go, Jack. Got another YouTube nut too. Here we go. Resume.
Nola had collected thousands of videos, all carefully organized into vast playlists. One playlist contained 750 local news reports detailing violent crimes in the area, rapes, murders, and shootings, presumably to play on loop and study. Then there were the videos on sex and women, the general gist of which were simplistic tips for picking up women and seducing them. One playlist contained over 200 videos, all in the same vein of how to develop mindsets that attract women like crazy. It's fair to say that, in sum, Benola.
Obviously, it worked.
Which?
It worked because he got the box more than once.
He was obsessed.
Yeah.
He was obsessed.
He played his part. He could have still got her.
Nah, she wasn't leaving. She wasn't leaving all that for him. That wasn't happening. She wasn't leaving all that. But she was
She was gonna go back and forth with him anyway. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, that would have probably happened. Yep. What a shame. I resume.
Benola was an obsessive fantasist with a serious stalker tendency and a child's understanding of dating and a fascination with violent crime. When police maintained that they had no suspects in the case, they had been closely monitoring Benola and his home. At 6:05 a.m. on the morning of the murder, a surveillance camera on 114th Street, not far from Benola's Richmond apartment, had captured Benola walking with a makeshift white bandage wrapped around his left hand. Later that same day, Benola had gone to a city MD for help with cuts on his hands and had been sent to Bellevue Hospital after doctors said the wounds were too deep for them to treat. Police had now waited days for the trash to be picked up. They wanted to recover and go through it without waiting for a search warrant. That trash would be Benola's undoing. Amongst his garbage, they found brown boots soaked in blood, allegedly worn by Benola while he stabbed Orsolia nearly 60 times, along with a blood-stained T-shirt and bloody bandages. On Wednesday, April 19th, NYPD detectives returned to the neighborhood to search for David Benola, who had reportedly spotted them first. Benola approached a squad car and reportedly said, "I hear you're looking for me." Police immediately transported him to the NYPD's 112th precinct, where he made a startlingly frank confession to the murder of Orsolia Gall. He paused to eat a bagel before repeating the confession once more on videotape for the prosecution. Benola told police that he and Orsolia had been involved in an on-again, off-again relationship for 2 years. Orsolia had recently broken things off again, and Benola had gone to her house in the early morning hours of April 16th in an attempt to make amends. But the conversation had become heated, and Orsolia had led Benola down to the basement to avoid waking her son Leo. The argument had escalated further, causing Benola to fly into a rage. He'd grabbed a knife and slit Orsolia's throat, he said, before stabbing her repeatedly. Then, not wanting her son to discover his mother's slain body, he placed the body in the boy's hockey bag, eventually dumping it outside in Forest Park. Benola also admitted to sending the ominous message to her husband, threatening to kill the rest of the family. But there were inconsistencies in Benola's account. For instance, did he already have a knife from Orsolia's kitchen on him when the fight broke out in the basement? The following day, David Benola revised his confession. He had gone to Orsolia's house after discovering that she had given him HIV, he said, an STD she had contracted during multiple infidelities. She'd also recently taken calls from another man and had plans to see him, something that Benola said he just could not accept. Orsolia then grabbed the knife and told him repeatedly to leave the home, quote, or she would kill him. At that point, he had grabbed the knife from her and cut her throat.
Hey guys, this move is...
The small amount of blood found in the area casts serious doubts on this claim, however. While the extensive blood found in the basement lends credence to Benola's first account, one he would understandably prefer to negate given the element of planning it introduces to the crime. On April 20th, David Bonola was arrested and charged with second-degree murder, first-degree criminal tampering, and fourth-degree criminal possession of a weapon. He has pleaded not guilty, despite having confessed to the murder twice. If convicted, Bonola faces a sentence of 25 years to life in prison. District Attorney Melinda Katz said, "This heinous murder left 2 teenagers without a mother and terrified an entire community." With the trial pending and the investigation ongoing, no information has yet been released on any of Bonola's claims, from the HIV status of either Bonola or Orsolya to his motive for the crime. But that's not difficult to deduce. He stated it in his first confession. Orsolya had plans to meet another.
You know what the DA said? She never mentioned her husband, who is a widow.
Wait a minute, repeat that because I was doing something. Repeat that.
DA, the female DA, only concerned about the kids, but not even the husband. She disregarded the husband. She had a husband, people.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So 9 out of 10, somebody like that, they're the same way too.
You got a point. You got a point. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm putting a link in of Dome's live stream later on. If you're interested in coming over there, feel free to engage, hit the like button and all that good stuff. And we're glad to have you. Dome will be glad to have you over there. Okay. All right. I'm gonna resume.
Been released on any of Bonola's claims, from the HIV status of either Bonola or Orsolya to his motive for the crime. But that's not difficult to deduce. He stated it in his first confession. Orsolya had plans to meet another man, something he just could not accept. Meanwhile, in the court of public opinion, Orsolya Gall has been repeatedly held as at least partially, if not fully, responsible for her own grisly demise, simply by virtue of either her adultery or poor taste in men. Conversations have followed threads along these lines. When we have families, there's a certain obligation that we don't put ourselves at risk. Joseph Giacolone, a retired NYPD detective and current professor at John Jay College in Brooklyn, has been openly critical of what he feels has been the shaming of Orsolya Gall by the media and public. Giacolone said, "What I read about is a lot of victim blaming. She got involved in an extramarital affair. Everything we do in life comes with consequences, but murder should never be the consequence." At Orsolya's memorial service, her older son, Jamie, speaking for him and his younger brother, Leo, said that his mother found happiness in our happiness. When I think about my mom, I think about all the work she put into raising us. She had a passion for making her kids happy. She found happiness in our happiness. Right now, that's what's important to remember.
What a shame there. Oh, what a shame. Jack, you have any thoughts you want to share about with that one? Are you there, Jack? That's not. All right, but I did commentary on Blondie here, and when I remember hearing that story that happened in Queens, New York, and I was like, wait a minute, something about it just don't add up. So she was out here basically whoring around. It is what it is. We have to call it how it is. She was whoring around on her husband, and they put her in a coffin, and her poor young son has to be taken out of handcuffs like he's a criminal, that he killed his own mother like that. That's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. All right, I have put the link in here if anybody's interested in coming to Dome's live stream later. Feel free to come. And also, Donnie Man said, what did she say? And don't forget when they write the killers behind the bars. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with these women over here in love with these goddamn killers behind bars? I mean, they getting women like crazy. It's just sick. Don't need a man. It's really sick. What is wrong with some of these darn people out here? I don't get it. But it has a lot to do with your childhood, the way you was raised, and your environment, and what you grew up seeing with your mother and your father doing. So you think it's cool to do it. Then sometimes you have parents that promote toxic relationships for you to be in them. They don't try to stop. They see that you see your son is in a bad relationship with the wrong type of woman, don't say nothing. You see your daughter in a bad relationship, they don't say anything. It just doesn't make sense. They a bunch of fools. I just don't get it. All right, let me put the link of this guy's video, so in case you want to check out his channel, because he has phenomenal commentary. He breaks it down. Did an excellent job. So here's the link. I'll put it into the chat. So if you're interested in if you're into the true crimes and stuff, you can, sub to his channel, and there it goes. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna end it here. I had y'all here way forever. Thank you for hanging in there and stuff. But I want to show this other clip, and I want to get into these different dusty stories. All right. Jack, did I lose you? You still there? You have a closing thought? No, maybe not.
I'm done.
Oh, okay. So you done. All right. All right. So everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging. I really appreciate it. So stay tuned for more of Donna Just Being Real. And Lisa, my dear, I don't know if you're still here, but I'm gonna do that story. I would have pulled it up today, but I forgot all about it with that story. Oh gosh. I would did actually send that to me too. All right, so everybody have this is a great night and a great weekend. Date smart, not hey, Captain in the house. And blessings to you, and hopefully you have yourself a good weekend. All right, so I'm just gonna close out, and let's just have a moment of silence for these two ladies that died from the hands of a Dusty. What a shame. Moment of silence again, ladies and gentlemen, and then that's it. Have a blessed one and a safe one. Date smart, not thirsty.